Nothing wrong with a blowy in a bush in a cemetery.
You guys ready to just dive into this?
Let's do it.
Do we need to do any stretching or anything first?
I've already done that, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, good. Welcome to the Two Older Pure Gold Movie Podcast, where Gen X and the younger generations revisit movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s to see if they still hold up. In today's episode, we're discussing the 1979 horror movie Phantasm. I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X. Joining me today is my Gen X co-host, Mathew Stockton.
Boy!
Representing the millennials this week, we have regular hype man Anthony.
Hey, guys.
And representing Gen Z, we have actor and tiny zombie expert Evan Mallick.
Very good at the tiny zombies. Very good.
Phantasm stars Michael Baldwin as Mike and Angus Scrimm as the Tall Man. These guys are horror movie icons, but didn't have much of a career beyond this franchise. This was enough for them. This movie's written and directed by Don Coscarelli. Coscarelli made Phantasm when he was only 23 years old and basically did everything himself. Writing, directing, shooting, editing. But
Makes me feel like an underachiever. Jesus.
yeah. Evan, how old are you?
I'm 23.
And how many movies have you written and directed? And
Unironically, one.
Did
there you
do
go.
Back Rooms with the biggest box office of anyone ever?
Oh, yeah, no. Me and Kane are tight. We did it together. I did most of it, but we'll give him the credit for now.
Just interestingly, before this movie, this wasn't his first movie. He had already become one of the youngest directors ever to get a movie distributed by major studios after selling his low-budget film, Jim, the World's Greatest, to Universal when he was still a teenager. And after this, he went on to direct movies like Beastmaster, so guy's got talent. The tagline from the movie poster is, I love this one. The tagline from the movie poster is, if this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead. IMDb describes the film as, it's a long one. A newly orphaned teenager, Mike Pearson, his older brother Jody, and their friends face off against a mysterious grave robber known as the Tall Man, who employs a lethal arsenal of unearthly weapons in their Southern California town. Okay, so that was terrible also. We've been discussing lately how IMDb writes terrible summaries. Now, for this episode, my 94-year-old dad was unavailable. He's taken a couple of weeks off, so I'm going to summarize the plot in 10 seconds for you. See if I get it. Tall, creepy guy turns dead people into dwarf-sized minions and ships them to another dimension where they're used as slave labor.
That's better.
That was 5. That was very impressive.
I should write for IMDb. That's going to be my next career. Okay, I'm dying to hear what you guys think about this movie. The reason I love this podcast is because I take movies that Mathew and I have like faint memories of, and we're like, oh, that was good, and rewatch them again, and sometimes you get surprises.
I remember watching this many times as a kid, like when it would be on like Channel 45, which I think was like Space, like the horror nights, Fridays, and this is not at all what I remember. I thought there was going to be way more flying spheres of death and zombies and whatever else there was, but there was quite a bit of story that they were putting into this that I don't remember.
I've been saying I want to do a horror movie on this podcast for a while, like specifically something supernatural, something super spectral. I did not like this movie. This was my first time seeing it. Not a fan. I think it was way too slow. I think it was meandering. I thought the acting wasn't all that great. I wasn't very intimidated by any of the villains. And I thought that the orbs were going to be a much bigger part of it. They showed up twice, and one time they got shot. The orbs were not a threat at all.
I'm laughing so hard. I mean, I remember this movie as scary and cool. On rewatch, it's more, I would say, slow, weird, and confusing. But
Sounds like me.
But apparently it was intentional. Coscarelli stated that he prefers nightmare logic to fully explain sci-fi plots, so he succeeded. Mathew, what did you think of this strange film?
Well, this came out when I was 9 years old, right? And I remember watching it on television whenever, like almost whenever it came out on TV, right? Like, because it was played over the years. I still kind of like it, and I think it sort of scares you with uncertainty, right? Because, nothing really makes sense. And every answer in the movie creates three more questions. And I think, I watched, what I watched last night? I watched Mulholland Drive last night. And which I love. My husband just does not get David Lynch. And David Lynch, and I realized David Lynch became famous for this approach of like location change, rules don't make sense, questions pop up, what's going on. But Coscarelli, is that how I say the director's name? He's already doing this in a low budget horror film in 1979. So I think Coscarelli was like a sort of a warm up to David Lynch. I think this is a great movie.
Well, he took a big swing. I mean, I'll tell you that. He wasn't afraid to take some weird angles.
This was low budget. The guy was 23 years old. Like, this is a damn fine movie. I actually really like low budget horror films. Like, Justin just rolls his eyes. Like, ones that are really bad. Like, I even love like student movies. Like, I think, obviously somebody's first movie, because I'm like, this is the first time somebody's doing it. They don't have money, right? The music sucks because they didn't have the budget, and I'm going to let that go, right? And I feel like I'm supporting people like trying to get shit done. And I have a lot of heart for this film.
Good.
I would say...
Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
I am the last person to ever... Like, I am very, very, of course, supportive of young careers of filmmakers, being one myself. I think that the one thing that you can't excuse due to low budget is writing. I think that you can say, I mean, if you look at something like Blair Witch came out in 1999 and was a masterpiece, that's like the very definition of a low budget horror film. And I don't think the writing in this was very good.
But see, sometimes with low budgets, I like the bad writing. I think there's something quaint. I'm actually a B movie horror buff, right? So maybe I'm skewed this way, right? Because I find it entertaining, the fact that like some of it's cheesy. You know what? Some of the acting, the girl that introduces the grandmother, she could not act, but there are moments of really.
That was
good
Ozzy
acting.
Osbourne, by the way.
There was moments of very good acting in this movie, and then moments of very bad acting in this movie as well, right?
Well,
yeah, but I also remember the orbs being much bigger part of this film.
Me too.
Like,
I thought the whole thing
for
was
me, it was
orbs.
like this. For me, from my childhood, it was a movie about the orbs, and I'm like, where the fuck are the orbs?
All I remember as a kid was, like, must have been just the scenes from inside the funeral home and the orbs. I feel like that was 60 minutes of that, but it was not.
It's say what you will, it's iconic. Like, I think everybody knows the tall man in those spheres. Like, if you ask somebody on the street what's Phantasm about, they would know those things.
Yeah, totally.
Tall man's a bit of a pedo, isn't he?
Probably.
A pedo. He turns into a woman and has sex with the main, like, Jody and Tommy. We just blew past that. He didn't need to do that. He could have just killed them. He did that for the love of the game.
Yeah, that was a pleasure.
There were some... Okay, there's a lot of fun things to talk about in this movie.
Tall man is on the Epstein files 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Related to that, Evan, I wanted to ask, who are the geniuses that determined that Tommy had killed himself by stabbing himself in the chest with his pants at his ankles?
By stabbing himself in the chest multiple times with his pants at his ankles. That's like a old joke. It's like,
and they're just like
suicide by multiple gunshot wounds to the back of the head. Yeah, after the first couple times, he's not going to keep stabbing himself.
I laughed so hard when they said it's suicide. Clearly suicide. Oh, maybe
it was surrounded by a bunch of other exposition lines of Reggie and Jody getting together and being like, "Hey, well, I guess it's not the three of us anymore, since the three of us were friends, and now Tommy's dead and we're at his funeral." And it's like, oh, cool. I know where I am and I know how they're related. Great.
That's good. That helped me get caught up because I was starting to get confused. Okay, first I want to ask you a question about the premise. Why does he shrink the dead people down into midgets before he turns them into slaves?
Short people are more evil.
It reduces shipping costs.
Oh, is that why he puts them in the barrel with the window?
Yeah, the 4-foot barrels are much cheaper than the 6-foot barrels.
have you seen the cost of shipping because of the gas prices right now?
You make a great point. Like, I love it when I'm confused and I ask a question and you guys just snap it right into focus.
You've seen his house. He's broke off property taxes. He's got to save $1 wherever he can.
Don't you get a break if you run a funeral home?
Apparently not.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never run a funeral home.
Okay. Does anybody know what they do in this other dimension? What is the slave labor used
I slept
for?
with a guy who ran a funeral home once. It was weird. Sorry, go on.
Wait, no. Jump back to that for a second.
I slept with the guy who ran a funeral home once. I picked him up.
Did
in
you
a
have
bar
sex in
and
a
then-
coffin?
No.
Did he stab you?
No, but it was after we were done the deed. I was like, "So what do you do?" And he's like, "I run the funeral home across the street." And I just thought it was creepy.
Okay, well,
Matthew, that was the tall man.
I was 16.
Yeah.
I did have a question on my list. Like, would you have sex in a cemetery?
I had that question for you, Olen, and
Answer's
and-
no.
my answer is I have quite a few times actually.
Quite a few times.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like quite a few times on the same night, or
I lived near the cemetery that was a really old one in London. That was a famous cruising zone before Grindr and stuff like that. So yeah,
wow.
all the people that were dead for a very long time though, so we weren't like doing anything bad.
Yeah.
And it's in many films. The cemetery's in many films. It's a film location.
Fun little Easter egg for you. Find the cemetery where Matthew's had sex multiple times.
It's called the Brompton Cemetery in London.
There you go.
Olen doesn't know what to do with that.
To answer your question, Olen, yes, but hesitantly.
That was in my youth. Now the most exciting thing that happens to me on the weekend is last night, like in bed before 10, laying in bed thinking, oh, after the podcast I'm gonna make a pavlova for dessert, and that's like my most exciting part of the day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I've become in my old age.
Okay, well, I find this whole cemetery tradition weird anyhow. Are you guys bury me in the ground, put me in a mausoleum, keep me in an urn, or scatter my ashes kind of people?
I'm Italian, so I like a nice overpriced mausoleum.
I want like a structure built and my body under glass like Lenin, and so people can walk past.
Evan, you?
I want my bones salted and burned. There's a chance I'm coming back otherwise. One time's enough.
I'm a cremate and t-shirt cannon guy.
Nice.
Yep.
Quick specification on that. Are you just firing the ashes straight out?
Yep. Over a crowd.
The truth is, I don't care because I won't know. It won't matter. So
Okay, well, we had to
do
get
what you
through that
want,
talk.
right?
So then, how about this? Would you hide in a coffin if you were in this situation?
Absolutely.
Never. Because there's a 1% chance that coffin's going in the ground.
Agreed.
I'm not taking that risk.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a
with-
chance he confuses you for one of the bodies he's trying to bring back and just opens the coffin.
Okay, my next question. Is the tall man creepy or are all old men creepy?
Well, I'm an old man. Evan, do you find me creepy?
You just looked me in the eyes and told me you had sex in a cemetery at 16 years old. I'm gonna I have nothing to say. I think you're perfect, and I would never say anything against you.
No, come on, guys. Like, there's like, you don't understand gay culture. It was essentially a park. Like, nothing wrong with a blowy in a bush in a cemetery, right?
Thanks for my cold open.
Well, I was gonna say, well, there you go.
I will just note that Angus Scrim and I are the exact same height, so I guess I am also a tall man.
You're also the tall man. There you go.
Okay, but he was actually creepy, right?
Yeah, he's got a good aura, a creepy aura. And then,
He was a.
I was going to say that I love that scene when he just picks up the casket. I don't know
Yeah.
what, it's just so simple, but it
Yeah.
just conveys that there's something different about that.
Super
Also,
strength.
the way he walks, and they do they do it in slow motion or just slightly slowed down? The way he walks and looks all stiff and weird, he's creepy as hell.
I don't want to tell you that's how you look when you walk, Olen.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding.
Damn.
It's getting personal. It's getting personal. Okay, my
Angus
next
Scrim was the
question.
best part of this film. He was like,
He was the best.
Yeah.
he was the best. I wasn't very scared by like the Star Wars Jabbas or like the orbs particularly, but whenever Angus Grimm showed up, I'm like, okay, that's our big villain. He can actually make something happen.
Just for the record, this was filmed before Star Wars came out, so he didn't.
Was this filmed before Dune was written?
I'm not a nerd,
Because
so I don't know.
one of the scenes was just a scene from Dune.
Was it? Which one?
When he goes into the grandmother's house and puts his hand in the black box and goes, "It hurts," and she goes, "Fear is the killer." That's just Dune.
Oh.
That's like a 1-for-1 shot for shot.
Dune the novel was writ. It came out in 1965.
Yeah, so they just ripped Dune then.
Okay, I have another question about old people. Do you think all old people are aliens?
No, I think all octopuses are though.
All right, see, we're really getting into it here. This is a great episode.
No, some strong opinions on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
look like aliens.
So, you young guys may not have loved this movie, but tell me, what were the best parts? What did you enjoy out of this?
The other young guys go.
No, you can go too, Matthew. You're young compared to the tall man.
I'm young at heart. You guys go.
I think obviously the scenes with Angus Grimm when he's walking and he stops and he turns and he looks at Tommy or whatever his name is, just really, they did a good job of conveying that fear. Yeah, I love the music, like the scores.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
That was one of the best parts, I thought. It just really accentuated the movie. Dialogue wasn't that good, but I don't know. There was lots of good little scenes sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
Mine was Mike following the tall man through the cemetery. The first appearance of the sphere, the mausoleum chase, the dimensional gateway reveal, and the ending, which remains one of horror's most memorable final shocks.
Really?
That was a
Yeah.
good ending.
It was a great ending.
I liked the severed finger. I thought that was awesome. But I didn't understand the yellow blood. Does that just mean you're alien?
It looked like a squash soup or something.
Just an
It
indication
means
that they're not
it
human.
means you're a
But the severed finger was cool.
lily-livered punk.
Obviously, the sphere was cool. I like bullet hammer. I think that's a good weapon.
Oh, I hated that scene, but it was cool.
Yeah.
This guy just hitting the freaking shell, looking right over top of it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the cinematography wasn't bad too. You know, Anthony, you said the music was good. I thought there was some really good shots in there. Looked good.
Yeah.
That's true. There were a lot of really good, especially at the beginning when we were just starting to see the tall man show up, and then when they found a picture of him with the horse and carriage. Those are some really cool shots, and the lighting was very interesting.
And being practical, tight 90 minutes and free on Tubi. These are both pluses.
Those
Right.
are the two most important things for me.
Yeah. Those
Yeah,
were
when
the
it's
pluses.
free on Tubi, when you like say we're doing this movie and I find it free on Tubi, I'm like, yes.
We need to get Tubi
Free
as a
on
sponsor.
Tubi.
We do, because we could do this podcast entirely from Tubi titles.
Yeah, we drive
Yeah.
a lot of business towards them. Also, I think the just any of the scenes in the funeral home, like just the quiet that they would kind of do, and then the footsteps and the lighting, and I really liked those.
There were a lot of good elements in this. I thought the first half really dragged. Like the second half, it started to get interesting, but the first half, I'm like, this is a lot of setup with some poor actors.
That's what I want to talk about that because I find it happens in a decent amount of movies we watch, mostly these kind of horror-y types, where they're trying too hard in certain aspects when they need to lean in other directions, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like, I don't care about the backstory. I don't need to know about their childhood and their family story.
Totally agree.
I want death and horror and scare the shit out of me and give me some good scenes.
See,
I thought
think,
that's what we
the
were gonna
bigger
get.
idea behind Phantasm. I kind of wrote these notes down because I was like, why do I like this so much? And I don't think Phantasm endures because of the horror. It's the feeling of the whole thing. So most horror films are about surviving a threat, but Phantasm, what's cool about it is it's discovering that reality itself may not work the way we thought it did. As a kid, that's terrifying, right? Because suddenly, when I was a kid and saw this movie, I was like worried about other worlds, right? I was like, maybe my dog's an alien. And as an adult, it's still unsettling because, I used to talk to my dog going, I know what you are. And then the dog would just sit there. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, you're just a dog. I'm like, haha, but that's what you want me to think, right? I was a weird kid. As an adult, the idea that reality is like there's a world that's stranger than we can really understand is still good. So I think that's why this movie is different for me, because it's about reality. It's about reality not working the way we think it is.
Well, this is the same sort of genre as Reanimator that we did recently, right? Which was also a low budget kind of B movie, and that one was just excellent from start to finish.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's lean into some of the worst parts. If you guys want to call out anything that you thought was particularly heinous.
This is not going to go well. I hated the ending. I think that is a bit of a cop-out ending. I didn't... As soon as he kind of like opened his eyes after the entire session, I'm like, oh, imagine if this was all a dream. And sure enough, that's exactly what they presented it as, with Reggie alive, and then they go and they kind of leave it obscure whether it's actually a dream or whether he's been kind of teleported into another reality. I think that there's 100% a place for an unclear ending. I think a lot of movies do it really, really well. Don't think this was it. I don't think that they earned it at all. I was just kind of sitting there like, eh.
I agree. When I said earlier I liked the ending, I meant more like the scene where all of a sudden he sees a tall man and he rips him into the mirror. The whole dream sequence, I thought that I agree. Like I was like, oh really? I don't remember this. This isn't what I was expecting at all, but not in a good way.
Like you had a dream that the tall man had sex with your brother and you watched? That was your dream?
Time to change those sheets.
Like we're just turning this into a whole trauma nightmare dream. I don't know. I like the supernatural aspect more, and then I agree.
It always makes me laugh that in these categories, best parts and worst parts, you guys always bring like deep, real things, and then I look at my list and go, should I even say it? So I had worst thing.
Probably not.
I had in my worst parts being in a band with a middle-aged ice cream man with a ponytail.
Who's clearly a pedophile.
Clearly a pedophile.
He already knows the kids' school schedules.
Yeah.
He's waiting outside with his van.
Oh, yeah. The skull, it doesn't help, but...
Ugh.
Sorry, Matthew, I had sex in a graveyard as worst part, because to me, it's...
Okay, worst part. One of the worst parts for me was the opening kind of scene, and that fucking kid riding his dirt bike over everyone's graves. I wanted to slap the shit out of him.
Thank you. Have we learned nothing from Pumpkinhead? Dirt bikes kill. You never introduce a dirt bike to a horror movie and have it go well. And then they just got rid of the dirt bike in the second half of the movie. He walked.
Did you guys
into
have
the
dirt
house.
bikes? We had dirt bikes. Dirt
Totally.
bikes were a part of 1970s childhood.
I know. Dirt bikes and plywood ramps.
Yep.
That was 50% of my childhood.
I think what doesn't work is some of the performances were a little bit rough, even for a low budget independent film. And it's I find it so weird that you had like people that could act and people that really, 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 really couldn't in the same movie.
Yeah.
There were a lot of lines that just sounded like they were so bored. Even when we like open the room and we see all of the like tiny shipping containers with the slave people in them, all of them are just completely straight-faced. And they're like, "What's this?" Like, it's the most boring thing in the world. They're like, "Oh, damn it, he runs a shipping company too. Oh, now we're gonna have to get legal involved." Like they're not phased in the slightest.
Shipping company, again, that's why they're small.
Okay, any other worst parts?
I think if you have no tolerance for ambiguity, you're not going to like this movie.
Well, I'm chivalrous.
Say it to my face.
I think leaving a girl in the cemetery and stealing her underwear is poor form.
I also didn't like the whole they're just like slaves on an alien planet. Like we talk about this for like 10 seconds and then we're moving on. Like that's kind of an important aspect, I think. And I understand there's ambiguity, blah blah blah, but come on, give me something here.
They did not develop that part well at all because I have no idea what they were doing. I just saw lines of them, and even this dimension, I was interested. New dimension. I'm interested. It's just red.
Yeah, looked like Mars.
Yeah.
It's not even Mars. It didn't even have like soil. It was just like a red room.
He talked briefly. He's like, yeah, they're short because the gravity's too strong there, and it must have had an impact on their evolution. That's fascinating. We have this tall man who clearly has been alive for hundreds of years and has been doing this for a while. They get to the dimension through a tuning fork, which means it's sound-based travel. There's so much cool stuff here that they just introduce and then blow right past in favor of having sex with kids in cemeteries. I just feel like we can take a moment and focus on something else.
my god, this episode is so funny. Okay, favorite lines. There's some good
Boy
ones.
from the pedo.
Boy.
Other favorite lines.
The funeral's about to begin, sir.
Yeah, that was good.
I like the scene where she was talking about fear being the killer. I don't know, maybe it is a rip, but I like that. It's true.
I got a sci-fi series that you would absolutely adore.
What's that?
So I hear.
Dune. Yeah. I was shocked. She brought out the black box. I'm like, oh, this is like Dune. And then he put his hand in and felt the pain, and she goes, "Fear's the killer." I'm like, this is Dune.
That's
is
where I
word for
saw
word,
that
shot for
before.
shot, dude.
I'm like, why do I remember this?
But this has
You're
got to be before
absolutely
Dune.
right. It's 100%
Not the novels.
Dune. You're
Matthew just looked it up.
absolutely right. Yeah,
They just took it from. They banked on Dune not.
that
being
is
I mean, look,
literally Dune.
I've done it before. I am guilty when I create some form of fantasy campaign. I've written D&D campaigns. I'm absolutely ripping things from fantasy series that I've seen.
Ooh, are
but
you
a
a D&D
whole scene?
My husband's a D&D guy. Next time you're in
Oh, we should
Vancouver.
talk about this.
Yeah. Okay. So my husband, we have a storage facility downstairs. We have a stack
Facility?
of
They
have
call it a room, Matthew. It's a
Storage
facility? Is it
full of
stacked
barrels
with barrels?
tiny people in them. Yeah.
we have
For your
boxes,
shipping company?
6 feet high boxes filled with Dune books from the 1980s. Not Dune books. With we have Dune books as well. The D&D books from the 1980s onwards.
You have a secret basement facility full of D&D books?
Yep.
How have we not touched this before?
I know. So come over and you guys. Everyone's invited. Come over. We'll play D&D.
Okay, well, thank you for the sidebar, nerds.
Let's do it.
I'm going to tell you guys how this movie did. So, according to Box Office Mojo Worldwide, Phantasm was the 47th biggest earner at the box office in 1979.
Oh.
Kramer versus Kramer was
good.
the biggest earner. Well, you would think, but this is a weird year for movies, Matthew. So let me give you some context. Kramer versus Kramer was the biggest earner at the box office this year.
Good movie.
As listeners of the podcast know, that's the first movie boobies for me. Phantasm was beat by other horror films this year, including Amityville Horror, which was the number 2 movie this year, and Alien, which was number 6. Can you believe
That's not fair.
Amityville Horror beat Alien? That surprises me.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And say that other movie again.
Amityville Horror was the number 2 movie, and then Alien was number 6.
Is that how you say Amityville?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
What are you, like,
Just
from
gonna
New
leave it there.
York?
Wow, bad.
Amityville. I'm
Evan,
like,
you're
what the hell is? I've never heard of Amityville horror.
Okay, Evan, you are calling in from New York. Can you please pronounce that town?
Amityville, unfortunately.
Why? Just because you're agreeing with me, it's unfortunately.
Yeah, it hurts me too. Olen, know how much this pains me.
Well, my podcast, so I'm editing you. Fucks.
The Amityville horror.
Olen, unfortunately, it's pronounced Amityville. You are correct.
Back to the rankings. Actually, so Matthew, usually 47th isn't actually that bad because Box Office Mojo goes 200 movies deep. But this year was so thin that by the time you get to 84th on the list, that movie only made $3,000. So
Oh, fun.
I tried to find titles that this beat that you recognized, and there were none.
Okay, now that makes me want to watch all the movies that it beat as well, though.
Is there a reason? Like, was something happening in the world, like 78, 79?
It just wasn't that
It was the 70s.
deep. It just wasn't that deep a year for movies. Yeah, I guess it was the 70s. They didn't make as many movies as they do now.
We made like 1/100th of the movies back then.
Yeah.
But there were some great movies coming out in the 70s.
Yeah,
were.
but we made fewer. Yeah.
Speaking of which, The Deer Hunter was the Best Picture Oscar winner this year.
Wow.
Yep. And they're not so different, those movies. By the numbers. So, not a surprise, low budget, $300,000. Although, actually, that was larger than I thought. But $300,000, what did it do at the box office? Evan, if you spent $300,000 on a movie, what would you want to bring home to be your minimum bar?
If I'm spending $300,000 in a movie, I'm already considering that a win. But I wouldn't be happy with anything less than $1 million.
Okay, what do you guys think this movie did on $300,000 in the box office?
Well, you said it was 47th.
Yep.
Say 175.
From all the movies we've done, say
175. You think it lost money?
Yeah.
I would say, well, if you guys think about it, right, there weren't a lot of movies. 47. We've done this before on this show. We know what the numbers are. Probably around $15 million.
Wow,
I think it was $14 million and $999,000.
Well, Evan wins. 12 million.
You bitch. How much was it?
$12 million.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I did way worse. Oh, that was stupid.
So it did like 36 times its budget, like almost 40 times its budget. It's
So
crazy.
the trick is, if it's a 1970s movie and it's around 40th, it's above $10 million generally.
So just spoiler alert for a sequel that this had 5 movies in the series, right? Total franchise earnings were $30 million.
Yeah. See, Evan, because it's a good movie.
So there's
It's
a
an ending.
sequel. So it wasn't a dream then.
Okay.
Maybe it was.
So they were
Dream
like,
continues.
this dude does exist.
Amityville Horror 2, The Dream Continues.
All right. Go fuck yourself.
That's a good cold open.
That's enough of that. I can still press stop recording anytime I want.
Yeah, let's keep on doing this movie.
He's a
Phantasm.
He's a film tyrant.
Is this the roast of the host here? Like, come on, guys.
You guys missed the last episode we recorded. Jane.
Damn.
Brutal.
Okay, you guys tell me when you got it all out of your system, and then we'll move on.
There'll be a little bit more later, but I think we're good for now.
Okay, good for now. So, Matthew, you speak highly of this film. Do you think critics liked it or hated it? And what about audience? So, Rotten Tomatoes, out of 100, critics and audience, what do you guys think? And I'm excited for this one.
This will be a hard one for me.
That's what
Okay,
she said.
so audience, if you're going to watch this movie and you're going to bother to rate it, you're probably a bad horror movie geek like me. So I'm going to say audience is like 70 and critics are like 55.
I think critics are lower than that. I think that I think this is getting tanked by the pacing and the acting. I think 40 critics, 75 audience.
Yeah, I was thinking like 45 critics, maybe 58 audience.
Ooh, one second.
You can tell they're big numbers here. So, you guys were good on the audience, but what's going to surprise you is critics 72.
Wow.
Really?
72% of critics that watched this movie, professional critics, said this is good, get out and see it. Audience 67.
I had more faith in that.
So the scores are higher. Evan, you're a 40, Anthony a 32, and Matthew a 20. So Matthew, you win it.
Wow.
Okay, I got a whole bunch of trivia for you on this. So first of all, they only filmed on weekends because they all had day jobs. And Corsa Kelly figured out that if he rented the equipment on a Friday, he got 3 days use for 1 day rental.
Oh, that's
That's
smart.
good. That's the kind of shoestring filmmaking you got to use.
Corsa Kelly based this on an actual nightmare he had. So I guess he
There
did
you
dream
go.
about a tall alien having sex with his brother. I don't know.
Happens. It happens to the best of us.
The spheres, I captured this one for Dan Sissons. The spheres were designed for $1,100.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest, that's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot for the amount of spheres that we got in this movie.
Yeah. The prongs on the sphere were very flexible, I saw. They looked like tinfoil. I don't think they're actually piercing anyone's skull. The spheres were a great concept, though. That part of it, you got to give it to it. That's cool, right?
Totally.
We all wanted more spheres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So all the sphere scenes were filmed in reverse. So they threw the sphere with a baseball pitcher. You know, the baseball, the cannon that shoots the baseballs. That's how they launched it, and then they printed it in reverse. Same with attaching to his head. They stuck it to his head and then pulled it off and showed it in reverse.
Oh, that's why the spheres cost so much, because you're destroying them every time you're filming a shot.
Right.
They're launching them out of a baseball pitcher? How many
Yep.
times do you think they had to remake that sphere?
Good point. But they didn't look expensive.
They didn't. But if you're making like a couple dozen of them, I can understand how that adds up.
True, true.
Well, it's 1,100, I guess.
There you go.
The title Phantasm comes from the idea of phantasm, something dreamlike, unreal, ghostly, or probably imagined. because Corsa Kelly wanted the film to feel like a nightmare when you're never really sure what's real and what's not.
Yeah, that makes more
These
sense
quotes-
post-movie.
Yeah, these quotes would be so easy to turn into bad reviews. I'm excited to see what the bad reviews of this movie are, because there's just so many jokes you can make here.
Scrim is not the actor's real name. The guy who played the tall man, his real name is Larry Guy. He changed his name because he wanted to keep his professional journalism career separate from his acting career.
That's fair.
Okay, woke or joke, you guys got anything? Because I got one. It was also one of my favorite quotes.
No.
You sure it wasn't that retarded kid Jimmy?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a big one. Also, leaving the woman in the cemetery unattended.
And stealing her
You
underwear.
didn't know she was gonna kill you at that point.
Like, at least leave her underpants, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just inconsiderate.
Well, however you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there's others who liked it more and less than you. For this movie, there were 14 10-star reviews out of 68 total. I had that backwards. So here's a few quotes for you.
Like the spheres.
The tall man scared me more standing still than most horror villains do screaming. No one in this movie acts normal, and somehow it makes it creepier. That's fair. No one acts normal.
That's true.
The movie has the confidence to never explain itself properly. Matthew, you'd probably agree with that, right?
Yeah.
And the atmosphere is so strange you feel uncomfortable even before anything happens. Also true. Okay, well, let's hear from people who hated this movie, and there were 20 people who gave it a 1-star review compared to the 14 10-star reviews. This movie feels like someone filmed an entire dream and forgot to edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? The tall man walks slowly for 90 minutes, and apparently that's supposed to be terrifying.
We didn't even see that much of the tall man, to be honest.
I think we
Most
saw
of it was kind of like the brothers getting guns and preparing to go fight the tall man.
There was too much of that. Like, there was 45 minutes of this movie that I liked, and 45 that I'm like, I don't care that you're adopted or whatever you are.
And they keep breaking and entering. Like, if someone did that, I don't blame the tall man for trying to fucking get you. Stay out of his house.
Yeah, they broke into his house.
That's true.
This is all self-defense.
Yeah. Stand your ground.
Fair. One last comment. It's like a student film accidentally became a franchise.
Yeah.
How old did you say the director was?
23 when he did this.
An argument could be made that that's exactly what this is.
And it's exactly what happened. Okay, 1979, Siskel and Ebert. Do you think they even reviewed this?
No.
They did, actually.
Oh.
So
Wow.
Okay.
Ebert said it was a bunch of tired special effects and horror movie tropes borrowed from other films. He said it was a mess and had no point and no good characters. Ouch.
You little bitch.
Damn.
Siskel liked it even less and said the movie had no point. So they gave it 2 thumbs down.
Siskel and Ebert, my guys.
Okay, Evan, I'm sorry I wrecked it for you by spoiling that this is a franchise. You must have known that, right?
I knew that there were more Phantasm movies. After I had never seen any of them. After watching the ending, I was a little bit confused how they made more movies. And now I realize that they shouldn't have.
Well,
You can't say that till you've seen them.
it's obviously popular because they made 5 movies, all the way up to Part 5, Ravager, which was not that long ago. That was only like 2016 or something like that.
I feel like, I'm guessing they probably leaned more into the spheres and the tall man and the other ones.
They did, yeah. There's lots of spheres in the sequels. None of them rated as high as this. So this was a critics 72. Phantasm 2 got a 33 critics. Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead, was a 40 critics. And that was largely cut footage from this movie, by the way, the third part. Phantasm 4, Oblivion, was a 29 critics. And the last one, Phantasm 5, Ravager, was a 57 critics. So this was the gem in the franchise, according to critics and audience.
So if I want to watch the Phantasm sequels, I'm in for more spheres but worse movies.
Correct.
Nice.
It's a trade I'm willing to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you take that deal?
I'll give you a hint. I actually watched some more of the movies in the franchise after I watched this, but I watched them at double speed. It helps.
That's a good hack.
Yeah.
That can't be a good review of this movie.
By the way, Scrim died at 89 in 2016. Do you guys think there should be, obviously there's not going to be a sequel with Scrim dead. Do you think they should do a remake?
I don't even think they should have done a sequel.
Yeah, I don't think so. Usually I'm into it, but I
No
don't think so.
remakes.
Don't you think there's enough cool elements to this that if you pieced it together with a better story, that it could be really cool? Show us what's in that dimension. Show us those little midgets working.
I think
Wasn't
if
that
you pitch
Dune?
this, if you pitch this as like almost like a sci-fi bleed movie where like an internet dimensional being has somehow become trapped in our reality, that could be cool. But that's almost a different story at that point. Like you're just kind of taking an interpretation of this and making it into a new movie. It's more of a spin-off.
Well,
But I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I read up on this, and I'll say the fans have been very, very vocal on this issue, and they are united in saying no Scrim, no Phantasm. So nobody wants it remade now that Scrim is dead.
That's fair.
yeah. I find a lot of these times you're just tweaking it enough that it's not even the same movie. So what's the point?
Yeah, agreed.
Just make a different movie. Make Dune.
I think they did that, Evan.
They did. They did make Dune. This is true.
Is this movie too old or pure gold? Matthew, go first. Set the stage.
So, this is not a polished masterpiece. It is much better than that. It's a singular piece of imagination, and nobody's ever made a film that quite feels like this one. So, thus, it is pure gold.
I mean, they made Dune.
I feel like you like Dune, Evan.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It makes sense that they took a scene from it. I will say, I am always in favor of just kind of taking an original concept and going for it. And I do applaud this movie's unabashed. I hate when you spoon feed audiences. It is unabashed. It is unapologetic. And it's just, this is the story, like it or don't. That being said, I am excited, if not delighted, to offer my first Too Old on this podcast.
Oh, wow. Audience, take note. Anthony.
It pains me to say it's too old, but it has a special place in my heart as one of my first childhood kind of late night horror movies.
That's nicely said. I'm going to say it's too old, but I will say if you're a fan of horror movies, especially you like the B movies, I think you should see this. It has a place in history, right?
I
And
agree, yeah.
This has cool elements. I like the tall man. I think he is creepy, and I like the spheres, and I kind of like this whole alien, another dimension kind of stuff. It had the bones of something good.
Totally.
So I'm glad I rewatched it, even though this is one of the ones that surprises me. I remembered it as good. I swear to you, I remember it as good.
Me too. That's why we do this podcast.
It's crazy.
That's the point. Two Gen Xers rewatch beloved movies from their childhood.
Correct.
It is.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to go, but I've left you guys my new favorite gift that I discovered while I was chatting on the chat in the chat.
That's
Oh,
exciting.
it's an ominous thing to say.
Is it sex in a
I was
graveyard?
gonna say if it's a porn of two dudes in a graveyard, I'm
It's
out of
just
here,
a
Matthew.
dude slapping meat.
Okay, see ya, pervert.
See you guys.
See ya. Thanks, Evan.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, see you guys.
See y'all later.
See ya.